Mitch McConnell, the Senate Majority Leader, he released an ad yesterday pointing out why it is that Democrats really should not be allowed to lead the country forward. This is one of the best ads of the campaign put out by the Senate Majority PAC. Here is what it sounded like.
Late nights, the early mornings, the door knocking, the phone banking. We've put in the work. We have the team. And the stakes couldn't be higher.
You're considered the most liberal United States senator.
Everything is on the line. Now there's only one thing left to do. Hold the line. Go vote.
That really is going to be the Republican line here, is that the threat of Democrats is so bad that they cannot be let in charge of power. And when you watch what's happening in Philadelphia, which is being basically blacked out by the media. I mean, I'm looking at the front pages of various major publications, and there's very, very little coverage of what's happening in Philadelphia. So overnight, there were these massive riots in Philadelphia. 1,000 people looted the local Walmart. Why? Well, because the cops shot a black man who was charging at them with a knife. He had a knife. They told him to put it down. He was within 10 feet. They tried to back away. He refused to listen to their orders. They shot him. This has now created 2 straight nights of brutal rioting across Philadelphia. And those riots resulted in some pretty shocking footage. Okay, and listen to the headlines from the media. I mean, this is how you know that the Democrats are scared about Pennsylvania, because they refuse to cover this stuff. They just refuse. Here is how CNN headlined this. Protests erupt for a second night after a black man fatally shot by Philadelphia police. Missing a little bit of context, as we would say, in the fact-checking business, aren't you? It wasn't just that a black man was shot by the police. It was that a black man was holding a knife, and they told him to put down the knife repeatedly, and he approached them repeatedly, and then they shot him. But apparently, that no longer matters. I love it. Listen to the top headline at CNN right now. Philadelphia sees more protests over fatal police shooting. Here's what one of those protests looked like in Philadelphia last night. This doesn't look like a protest. This looks like a full-scale riot with people looting, stealing a pair of shoes to protest systemic American racism. Because nothing says systemic American racism quite like the cops allowing people to loot the Walmart. Does this look like a protest to you? Right here, what you're watching? Doesn't look like a protest to me. The prior night, 30 police officers were injured, including a 56-year-old female police officer who was hit with a truck, broke her leg. You can see cars are literally pulling up to the Walmart. People are getting out of the cars. They're running into the Walmart, and they are just absconding with TVs. And this is what Democrats are presiding over. Democrats are okay with this. And they make noises about how they're not super fond of it. What exactly are they doing to stop it? The mayor of Philadelphia, who's a Democrat, said there were serious questions to be asked about the incident. There were not. The police chief, who's a Democrat, said the same thing. Okay, this is the world that Democrats are apparently okay with because America is systemically and institutionally racist. Thousands of people looting local stores. Why would you ever invest in a business in Philadelphia again watching this happen? Seriously. Well, at least the protesters here, some of them look like they're wearing masks. That's really the important thing, I noticed. I hope you enjoyed that clip from The Ben Shapiro Show. If you did, go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you stay up to date on all of our future content.